Hello and welcome again to another episode of Truly Happy One. Ako po ulit si Eric Calugdan together with us, Sir Enrico Garcia. I used to be an IT consultant for Unisys and then put up my own business called Infotext. I'm also the CIO of Philpax and CTO of Sante. You can call me a serial entrepreneur. Si Sir Enrico naman used to be the retail operations manager of Shell and after that became the country manager of Herbalife. And then after that, he became the Director of Operations of Avon and one of the Board of Directors of the Direct Selling Association of the Philippines. Now he is a mindset coach and also the Director for International Operations of Sante. And to all our viewers, welcome to Truly Happy One. We do this every Saturdays at 5 p.m. via Facebook Live and YouTube Live. And every week, iba-iba yung mga topics natin. And for this week, we will talk about success, no? And how you can compare it with an iceberg, di ba? So, ang dinidiscuss natin dito ay paano ba no, mag-isip itong mga tinatawag na world-class Pinoy para tayo din maging world-class Pinoy. Excellence, di ba? Magkaroon ng ganong klaseng characteristics. Now, before we start sa ating main topic, please let us know where you are watching from. Type nyo dyan sa chat if you're watching from Mandaluyong, or if you're in Facebook, type nyo sa comment section, watching from Mandaluyong. You can also send us your questions or feedback during the discussion. No? This will be an interactive discussion. So if you have questions, type nyo lang dyan sa comments or sa chat, and try nating sagutin yan later. And wag na rin kayo mahiya. Please like, no, comment, and tag your friends na sa tingin yung makakatulong itong topic natin about success. No? Share nyo na rin yung video and don't forget to subscribe dahil every week po ito, every Saturdays at 5 p.m. Para mawala kayong ma-miss na mga episodes, click nyo yung subscribe button dyan sa baba sa YouTube or pwede kayong mag-join sa Facebook group natin. No? We also have a Facebook group na Truly Happy One. Yung link papunta doon, makikita nyo sa description nitong video. Okay, so yan, watching with us, Joe Baisa, Francis Carag is watching, Sir Enrico, Evelyn
Wow.
is also watching. Ayan, thank you
Wow.
for watching. Okay.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Francis.
Ang topic natin today is success is an iceberg. So, Sir Enrico, ano po itong iceberg na to?
So, well, first of all, good afternoon to you, Eric, and of course, good afternoon to our viewers. Thank you very much for tuning in. So, yung success is an iceberg is we're gonna show what success looks like in an image, and then from that image, what can we learn, diba? How can we compare success in any field, no? Whether it's at home, at work, in your business, in your profession, in your sports, or basically anything, diba? It's a nice image that reminds us exactly ano ba yung elements of success that we probably don't see. We like to see the joy, the glory behind the success. But what really goes on in order to achieve success is what most people probably, don't want to see or don't want to really, take a look at and understand what does it take to become successful in your chosen field, diba? So, very simple. We'll just have 2 slides here, but very, very meaty in terms of substance as to how this image can and should be used by anybody wanting to achieve success. Yan. I hope that helps, Eric.
Ayan, meron tayong mga comments na pumapasok. Ayan, sabi ni Evelyn Castañeda, good afternoon. And she's watching from Manila. Ayan.
Wow.
Si Joe Baisa naman, ayan, tinag yung kanyang mga friends. And
Oy,
si Man Kevyab is also watching from Marikina.
Salamat, kayamaan.
Ayan.
Yes.
So ito po ang ating first slide. Ayan.
Okay. So, sige. Okay. Ito napakagandang image, and the reason, this is common, but what will be different here is how we will apply this, right? So, the tip of the iceberg, diba? We typically hear this, Eric, diba? Normally, diba? Wow, may problema yung company. This is how it's normally used, this line. And pare, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Ibig sabihin, mas matindi pa. Tama ba, Eric? 'Di ba?
Mas
Normally,
malaki pa yung totoong problema, parang gano'n.
correct.
Oo.
That's how it's being used to describe
Mhm.
precisely you're seeing what is above the water, which you know is small in relation to the total iceberg. So
Mm.
ibig sabihin underneath merong mas malalim at malaking problema when this is used
Mm.
as a problem. Now, for success, the tip of the iceberg is what you and I want to see in our heroes, whether that's basketball, whether that's in technology, whether that's in, whatever chosen sport or profession, right? We have our idols. We like to see this. But what we don't probably, I'm sure we know, but probably don't ever want to look at is what they have to go through. Now, why? I read this excellent insight from a German philosopher. Sabi niya, syempre ayaw mo makita yung idol mo or yung that person that you like to emulate doing ordinary things. Kumbaga sa athlete, 'di ba, kung golf yung ayokong makita na everyday pumapalo ng bola, nagpa-practice si Tiger. Gusto ko makita pag nasa tournament siya, pag nananalo na siya. The same with basketball because it's just an ordinary thing that you and I can do. 'Di ba? They're almost put in a pedestal that they occupy a different level in our minds. And that's
Yung
why this
pinaka
part.
ano siguro sir, oo, yung pinaka-latest na puwede nating example is yung Miss Universe,
Oh, exactly.
'di ba?
'Di ba?
Ilang
Yeah,
oras lang yun na nasa stage sila, na nakikita mong rumarampa, sumasagot ng mga Q&A, 'di ba? Pero hindi natin nakikita yung preparation na ginawa nila
right. And
before nung ano na yun, program.
correct, Eric. And yung iyak nila, the difficulty, the late nights, the early mornings, the persistence, sinisigawan sila nung teacher nila. Hindi maganda ganyan yung Tapos sa Q&A, tinetrain sila.
Mm.
We don't see that, 'di ba? Ang nakikita lang natin, we want to see is that that ideal of beauty and brains, 'di ba? Yun
Mm.
lang gusto mo makita. Hindi mo nakikita to when they're dressed ordinarily, they're not made up, and they're having, not a good day, just like any normal person.
Mhm.
Di ba? Yet, that's the bigger part of the success. Hindi ba? So,
Correct.
yun yung hindi nakikita ng public. So, it's the same, let's say, lalo na sa sports. Di ba?
Kay
Ay,
ano 'di ba, kay Pacquiao before siya magkaroon ng gano'ng klaseng resistensya 'di ba, ilang kilometro tinatakbo niya, ilang push-ups yung ginagawa niya per
grabe.
training, preparation for
Ev-
per fight
ev-
'di ba?
every day alas 5 ng umaga yun. In very
Mm.
cold conditions. Gising yun. Habang tulog tayong lahat. Di ba? That
Mm.
just so that you can last 12 rounds.
Mm.
You have to do that. The early mornings, the late night, the sacrifice, the hard work, umiiyak sa sakit yun ng katawan. In
Kaya
his
kailangan
throat.
nga niya ng ano 'di ba, Laksan If-R.
Oh, exactly. Hindi biro
Oo,
yun. Ito yung
correct.
isa yung favorite ko. Yung 100-meter sprint, Eric. Alam mo yan,
Mhm.
di ba, sa track and field? You just run 100 meters.
Mhm.
The Olympians, ha? Ito, para makita mo, ito, to me, it's the best, their race is done in 10 seconds. Yung
Wow,
world class, ha? 10 seconds lang yun.
tapos na.
Kasi, tapos yung race.
Mhm.
Kasi they'll clock 9.7, yun yung mga world record, no? Sabihin mo na average na lang 10.5.
Mhm.
Imagine, you work for 4 years to prepare for the Olympics for a race
For
that lasts
10
10
seconds.
o 10 seconds.
Wow, grabe.
Isipin mo yun. And you're competing with the world's most elite
Mhm.
athletes. Can you imagine the setbacks, the doubts, the hard work, the sacrifice, the risks, di ba? You overtrain, you don't peak at the right time. The early mornings, they train at least 3 times a day
Mhm.
para lang maging world class for a race that's not even 11 seconds.
Wow.
It's over
Parang
in 11 seconds. Yeah.
hindi mo pa na kakalahati yung chichirya mo at ubos na tapos na agad yung yung
Ikaw
dapat.
talaga, nagugutom tuloy ako sa iyo, di ba?
Oo.
But correct, Eric. So again, it's just reminding us. So okay, let's go over to business. It's the same, Eric. 'Di
Mhm.
ba? 'Di ba pag meron building na tinatayo, sisilipin natin, ano ba 'yan? 2 taon na nakasawali yung ano, wala naman nakikita.
Mhm.
Kasi nga 'di ba in this image, you have to build the foundation to support the building.
Correct.
And so it takes so long to pile drive and prepare the foundation so that when you build the skyscraper, which happens in 6 or maybe 8 months, it's ready to take on that load, that weight.
Mhm.
So yun yung sa building. In our business, yung foundation. In the network marketing business, it's you developing yourself. It's you developing your character, your leadership, becoming the right leader. 'Di ba? So that when your team explodes, you are the right person at that right time.
Correct.
So
Prepared ka na. Alam mo na
yes,
yung tamang characteristics, tamang principles, tamang mindset ng isang leader. At yun yung iyong
yes,
foundation para
yun,
talagang mag-grow at mag-explode yung iyong business.
correct. 'Di ba? Ikaw, Eric, maybe you can talk. I mean, you're an entrepreneur, and tell
Mhm.
me if your journey resembled, this iceberg image, 'di ba? Lalo
Well,
na,
yes. Opo.
'di ba?
Well, actually una is nakita ko yung pagiging entrepreneurship or yung pagiging entrepreneur from my parents kasi yung parents ko are entrepreneurs. They have bookstores sa Cavite, no? So, naintindihan ko yung concept ng bibili ka ng mura, tas pad up ka konting margin, tas bebenta mo ng medyo mas mahal. In fact, elementary pa lang, no? As in that early, naalala ko pa nung grade 1 ako, grade 1 to 3, nagbebenta na ako. Sa mga kaklase ko. Naghanap na ako ng way para kumita, no? Merong uso nun nung time na yun, yung mga Sanrio, yung Hello Kitty,
Hmm.
Keroppi, yung mga ganon. May mga paper clips na ganon na binibili ng mom ko sa Divisoria na 1 peso. By the way, nanonood po siya ngayon. Ayan, hello po. Ayan,
Oy,
nanonood siya
hi,
ngayon.
Tita Edith.
Tsaka
Yeah,
si
kamusta?
Ronaldo Lucilla nanonood, tsaka si Ana Marie Herrera nanonood sa atin. Ayan.
Oh,
So,
Ana, hello.
binibili ng mom ko 'yun ng piso sa Divisoria, tapos binebenta ko sa mga classmate ko ng 2 piso, 'di ba? 100% margin agad. Yung mga gano'n. So, maaga pa lang alam ko na yung concept ng pagkita at pagbenta, 'no? So, after nun, iba-iba pang mga ways na na kumita. Nung college, nagbebenta ako ng mga assembled pieces, 'no? So, talagang alam ko na kailangan mong paghirapan pero worth it pa rin yung pinaghirapan mo para ka kumita, 'no? Hindi yung tipong after college, 1 year after bigla ako naging entrepreneur dahil dun lang ako nagsimula. In fact, babalikan mo siya nung early days pa talaga nung grade 1 na hindi usually alam ng mga tao na ganun yung experience ko, ganun yung kung paano na cultivate sa akin yung pagiging entrepreneur, no? Yung pagbebenta. Ayan. Si Buena Fe Frias is also watching us, sir. Sabi niya, watching from
Hello.
Mandaluyong.
Oy,
Ayan.
hello, Buena Fe. Yeah, we missed you. Good to see you here again.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yun, Eric, ito yung, if you will have a visual, di ba? Anything, any success in any discipline or endeavor will entail itong lower part ng iceberg. What I call the story to achieve that glory.
Correct, correct.
Di
Kapag
ba?
sa ano rin sa mga fairy tales, 'di ba? Yan yung nasa taas, yung tip of the iceberg, yun yung phrase na and they lived happily ever after. Nandun
Correct.
sa dulo na yon. Pero yung
Correct.
simula nung fairy tale hanggang dun sa nagkaroon ng evil witch or evil stepmom, 'di ba? Tapos may mga challenges, may mga ganun. Yun yung nasa ilalim nung iceberg. And hindi makukumpleto yung story, hindi magiging interesting yung story kapag wala yung mga yun. Di ba?
Right.
So, ganun talaga
Yeah.
ang buhay.
Di ba?
Yes.
Yeah. So, ito yung importante. Now, we're not saying, di ba, na what's important here is that you understand that any successful person, ito nakakalimutan natin. And that's why sometimes ayaw natin, probably because we know nga, this is what it entails eh. Di ba?
Mm.
Alam naman natin yan, di ba? This is nothing new. Di ba? So the thing that really makes that happen is pag nag-decide ka talaga. When you truly commit, yung ibig sabihin hindi galing sa ilong yung commitment mo. When it's just you and you in front of your mirror and you make that decision that I am going to do this. When you come to that point, you can withstand these things. The lower
Correct.
part, di ba?
Ayan. Si
Getting
Miss Des
there.
Balasa is watching also. Sabi niya, hi Sir Eric and Sir Enrico.
Oy, wow, salamat,
Oh,
Tess.
ha?
Wow.
International. From
Oh, Nigeria. Salamat.
Nigeria.
Yeah,
Yes, Miss Des
makikita tayo
Balasa.
mamaya. Tess, maraming salamat.
Nice.
Yeah, really appreciate it.
Sabi ni
So,
Buena Feren, success is the end result already. The hard work with persistence that it went through are the unseen essential part of it. Correct.
correct. And that's why,
Essential.
yes, pupunta tayo dun sa ano ba yung insights that we can get from here and that we can use, di ba? So,
Mm.
ito
Yan.
yon. Ito yung sinasabi niya, no? Now, what you do in private is what people see in public. Now, that could be
Mm.
good or bad, di ba? But we're referring obviously dito is yung success. And success is not just money, ha? It's not money, di ba? It's your, you achieving and doing your absolute best in your chosen endeavor, di ba? So, ito yung nakikita, wow, ang galing mo. Ang galing mo, Eric, ng pag-create ng mga What they don't know is the number of hours that you spend. What they don't know is that for sure you have failed programs. You wrote the wrong code. It crashed. It
Mm.
didn't work out. The application you're trying to build, it didn't deliver, di ba? And you try
Yes.
again. They don't see that, right?
Mhm. Correct.
But you and me and I continue to fail, right, in many things in private. Yet that's the very thing that allows you to sharpen and make you even better. So yun talaga, what you do in private, that's what people will eventually see in public. If you're putting in the time, you're putting in the effort, the sacrifice, and all that you need to do to become good at what you do, that's what they will see, right?
Yes. Correct.
And
Yeah, sabi rin
and the,
ni Robert, success is subjective. Yeah, good afternoon, truly happy
hey,
one.
Robert, good to see you, Robert. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, yung definition mo ng success, yes, 'di ba? Kasi hindi naman money lang 'yan, 'di ba? Success is when you put some people say when you put everything you possibly could have behind whatever it is you're trying to do. What we're talking here is what does it take to produce that success, 'di ba? And the
Mhm.
image that we're using is that of an iceberg. So it simply means there is a Mount Everest, if you will, that you need to climb to get to the Hillary step. By the way, that's the highest part. That's the peak nung Everest, di ba?
Mhm.
So, yun yung analogy natin. And ito, we all want to see, talk, and share about the glory. Wow, ang galing ni ano. Wow, ganyan. But we hardly spend time to learn from their story.
Paano sila umabot doon?
Yes. And
Oo.
Eric, the other 3 weeks ago, I was being asked. My wife was asking me again, "Why are you reviewing again the story of Arnel Pineda?" Arnel Pineda, okay,
Mhm.
medyo, he's the lead singer of a rock band. Medyo, the younger ones may not know, but you can research it. Journey. It's a beautiful story. The way they found him and what he had to go through and what he is enjoying now. You're seeing the tip. Journey was a band
Mhm.
that sold like 80 to 90 million albums worldwide, Eric,
Mhm.
at their peak in the 80s,
Mhm.
90s. Then nag-stall yung kanilang journey because they lost their lead singer.
Hmm.
Nawala. And for
Okay.
10 years, they were trying to look for the person that could, sing that legend, that yung a legacy sound, meaning yung previous singer.
Mhm.
And they found him on YouTube.
Sa YouTube, wow.
Yeah, they posted.
Na-discover sa YouTube.
Yes, yes. Go look it up,
Mhm.
Eric. It is a beautiful story. And I'm saying this because when that band went here to honor Arnel, para makita nila saan siya natutulog sa luneta, saan siya, kasi he became homeless eh.
Mhm.
Nung namatay yung mother niya, the family was so hard up. So he brought the band and the band honored him by, really understanding where he came from. Can you imagine that? I met the band members. A friend told me, hey, they're in this restaurant if you want to meet them. And I met them. So I asked the lead guitarist who discovered him. I said, is it true you found him on YouTube? Yeah. Just when he was about to quit. He had gone through,
Wow.
yeah, he had gone through all. Hinanap na niya lahat. And then sabi niya, tignan na nga lang natin tong link na to. It opened up. Nakita niya si Arnel kumakanta dyan sa Hard Rock sa Makati. And he was singing their songs. Eric,
Uh-huh.
hindi pa tapos yung story yun. So, okay.
Hmm.
Tinawagan. Hindi naniniwala si Arnel. Sabi niya, anong hoax ito, kalokohan to, ikaw ba talaga si ganyan? He didn't believe.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, tinawagan siya. So finally, na-convince. If you're willing to come to San Francisco, we want you to audition. We heard you. We think you're great. O siyempre, problema. Paano? Visa.
Mm-mm.
He goes to the American Embassy, and you can watch this on YouTube. Just type it up.
Mm-hmm.
So tinanong siya, so anong purpose mo? Ba't ka pupunta sa Amerika? Sabi niya, I'm going to audition for the band Journey. Natawa yung officer.
Yung nag-interview. Oo.
Binulungan yung katabi niyang ito, tinan mo to, mag-ano raw. Pinapunta
Aha.
doon. Tignan mo naman talaga, may kasama rin talagang swerte. The
Aha.
guy na pinunta niyang table, sabi niya, I know you. Sabi ni Arnelia, I see
Oo.
you, you watch our gigs.
Sa
Yung
Hard
isang,
Rock?
hindi, Baga Verde. Kung saan siya
Okay, okay.
tumutugtog, pumupunta
Okay.
doon. So the guy
Ah.
said, can you sing this song? It's a song of that band.
Mm.
Oh yeah, he started singing. I'm not kidding. That's the
Sa
story.
embassy?
Sa embassy. Pak! Approve.
Ayos, ah.
Look it up.
Uh-huh.
And he's been interviewed by Oprah, Ellen DeGeneres. It is unbelievable.
Mhm.
Unbelievable story. So the point I'm trying to, but if you watch his documentary, pare, umiiyak siya sa lungkot at hirap. Kasi after a concert, diretso dun sa bus nila. They're going to another state. It is brutal.
Mhm.
He has to drink things to soothe his throat. Nagkakasipon siya because of the schedule. It's not easy. And then he has to, perform at such high levels.
Mm.
So there, classic story of one of our, maybe not many people know, the rise of this guy to success.
Mhm.
And wow, the challenges. Siyempre, pinalitan niyang singer, maraming haters sa kanya, bashers na, the original guy is still the better sound. So, kasama yun.
Mm. Tama.
So anyway, yan yung ano ko, na you don't
Ng
see the story
correct.
behind the glory. Yeah.
Yes, which is essential, no? Yeah, si Sir Gabby nanonood din sa atin. Sabi niya, good afternoon from
Thank you.
Parañaque.
Thank
Ayan.
you,
Sabi
Gabi.
rin ni Robert, I like your iceberg analogy. Many do not see the story behind the success, yung hard work and sacrifices. Yan,
Thank you,
correct.
Robert. Thank you,
And may
Robert.
question dito from Buena Fe. Sabi niya, can you relate this to the success or failure, sir? The Titanic was not sunk by the tip of the iceberg. It was sunk by the chunk of the iceberg underneath.
Correct. And that's good because yes, this image can also be used exactly for what you're saying. 'Di ba? When you fail to understand, 'di ba, precisely in the Titanic, nakikita nila yung tip lang. Eh syempre maliit 'yun, but syempre yung width nung sa ilalim nun, that's why they scraped it,
Correct.
'di ba? They weren't able to avoid it early enough, and that's what eventually sank the ship. Now,
Mm-mm.
the analogy there is when you don't respect enough, 'di ba, the process by which success is made, that's when you get further away from success. When you try to do shortcuts, 'di ba? So
Correct.
ganun talaga di ba? Whether in athletics or sports, when they start partying, they're not training, they're not having they need to eat properly, they need to sleep early so that they can wake up early and punish their bodies so that they can get stronger and repeat that many days in a year. That's not easy
Yep.
to do, di ba?
Correct. Ayan, nanonood din sa atin, sir, si Virgie Conde. Ayan, nanonood
Uy,
din. Thank you for
Virgie,
watching.
salamat kay Virgie, the
Yes.
HR girl.
Yes. So, sa mga may mga questions dyan or feedback no, sa ating topic for today, don't hesitate. Type nyo dyan sa comment section sa Facebook or chat dyan sa YouTube at tatry nating sagutin yung mga questions na yan.
Yeah. Lalo
Okay.
na sa industry natin, Eric, yung
Mhm.
mahal nating industry and yung network marketing na yan. Lalo
Mm.
na, di ba, the sacrifice that people have to make to improve themselves, di ba? To,
Correct.
learn and, keep working on themselves so they can lead the respective teams, di ba? Imagine you're dealing with volunteers, hindi naman sila empleyado, 'di ba?
Mm.
So you need to, to really understand how to lead them, how to be a servant leader, how to, provide a vision, 'di ba? That's
Mm.
compelling for them, 'di ba? And how they can do the same and bless other lives, 'di ba? So this analogy really, helps many people. I have that image, Eric, in my
Mm.
'di ba? Like if I'm, my goal, let's say if it's whether it's fitness or diet or any, know that the path there is going to entail this, 'di ba?
Mm.
So yun,
Hindi
Eric.
siya hindi siya success lang na bigla na lang out of nowhere or sinuwerte lang, no?
No,
Maraming
no.
mga success pinaghirapan talaga, 'di ba?
Oh,
Kaya
yes.
'wag
Oh,
tayong padadala rin dun sa mga sinasabi nila na ito sumali siya tapos ngayon sobrang millionaire na siya. Hindi gano'n kadali na parang bigla na lang nag-transition siya na naging successful na-achieve niya yung top rank, hindi po gano'n. Alamin niyo paano siya umabot dun sa top rank na yun, 'di ba? Paano ano yung mga sacrifice na ginawa niya, ano yung hard work na ginawa niya, 'di ba? Para umabot doon sa point na yon na maging successful, 'di ba?
yes. Yes.
Sabi ni Buena Ferren, like with the Bill and Melinda Gates marriage was considered one of the most successful ones, but its failure now shows that underneath it can had a decaying foundation. Yun yung hindi natin nakikita,
Yeah.
'di ba?
And yeah, when it comes to a relationship, we get surprised. What? Because you really don't know what's going on in the relationship, 'di ba? In this
Mm.
case, a marriage, 'di ba? So again, I'm not commenting on the, but yeah, again, just like anything, if you don't nurture that, you can have, the foundation can become unstable eventually if it's not being nurtured by, communication, love, and respect, and that's when, you start having problems, right? So yeah, the analogy. Eric, baka may question ka, di ba?
Yes. Question. Well, actually alam ko na rin naman na gano'n talaga siya 'no, na yun nga sabi ni Buenefect kanina 'no, it is essential for you to have success kasama yung ilalim nung iceberg na yun, which is yung mas malaking bulk na you really have to work hard for it 'no, pray for it, 'di ba? And, talagang pag-aralan kung ano man yung profession or business na pinapasok mo. Ayan, may question yata si Benefit. Sabi niya, like the Grab app, Success, and others, we see their enormous profit but we don't see the huge maintenance cost it entails the operators regularly. Yes. Actually, yung office, meron kaming virtual office before sa may MOA, sa Mall of Asia. No? Merong office doon ng Grab. As in, sobrang busy ng office nila. Halos everyday, ang dami pumapasok, lumalabas. Kasi doon sila nagte-train ng mga drivers din, di ba? Yun yung hindi nakikita ng mga tao sa labas. Akala nila na lahat technology-based, nasa internet lang lahat, di ba? Na parang walang walang struggle, no? Pero actually meron. Tama, Sir Enrico?
Absolutely, absolutely. Yun nga, 'di ba? I remember my late dad when you see something being done so simple, that means that person has been doing that for a long time. Yun yung
Correct. Maganda
deceiving ano
yan.
eh, 'di ba? When it looks so parang ang simple, no? Parang yung sa golf kung pumalo sila kala mo gaganon mo lang. Wow, to get there. Tama yung father ko sa niya. That means they have put in a lot of time and effort. When something is being done so simply, parang ang dali gawin, 'di ba? Gaganahan
Correct.
ka when you try to do it, ang hirap pa,
Oo.
'di ba?
Yes, and ganun din sa technology, no? Yung technology, if you see a technology that is very simple, a lot of hard work, a lot of technology has been applied to that technology kapag ganun siya kasimple. Isang example na dyan is Google. Kung maalala natin, di ba, before magkaroon ng Google, merong Yahoo. Di ba? Tapos nagkaroon pa
Yes.
nga ng Yehey.com. May Yahoo
Yes.
from Japan, tapos Yehey.com Philippines, di ba? kung maalala nyo yun, yung yahoo.com, pag unang bagsak mo dun sa website nila, ang daming laman, daming text, di ba? May by category, by location, di ba? By profession, parang directory yung nangyari. Para kang pumunta sa library, tas binagsak sa'yo lahat ng mga libro in one go, in one page, no? Tas biglang
Right.
pumasok itong si Google, di ba? Pagpunta mo sa page ni Google, ang makikita mo, isang box lang at isang button lang. Wala kang ibang magagawa. Yun lang, search lang, 'di ba? Which is yun naman talaga yung purpose niya, 'di ba? And maraming pinag-isipan, maraming nag-isip paano yun, bakit siya naging ngayon, ayan, alam natin lahat ngayon, it's a common word na yung word na Google, it's a verb as well, 'di ba? I-Google mo, IGM.
Yeah.
Yan
Yes.
ang
Yes.
sagot natin ngayon sa mga bagay na hindi natin sigurado or hindi alam, IGM. I-Google
Yeah.
mo.
You know, Eric, I wanted to comment. It's a beautiful example because can you really imagine what goes on? Imagine kung ano nasa ulo mo, i-type mo dun sa rectangular box na yung sinasabi ni Eric na
Mm,
i-Google mo and you get answers.
correct.
I mean, can you imagine what it takes to make that happen?
Mm,
'Di ba? Imagine that.
correct.
Paano niya naano yung information and delivers to you o ito yung mga sources of answers to your question.
Correct. At ngayon nga, hindi lang yun, no? Minsan, hindi mo pa tapos i-type yung sinesearch mo, siya na yung
Mal.
nagtutuloy para sa'yo. Di ba? So, halimbawa, ta-type mo 100 USD 2. Nandun ka pa lang sa 2, meron na siyang suggestion na PHP. Which is, alam niya kasi na based ka sa Philippines. Kaya gusto mo yung exchange rate. Ano ba yung equivalent ng 100 US dollars to Philippine peso? Di ba? Or yung mga common matching na search terms. No? So,
Eric, let me
ibang
ask you.
technology talaga yan. Yes, sir.
Let me ask you, you're a tech guy. To make that happen, how many hours of ano yan? Is that from a technological ano? Is that
Well,
a lot
hindi
of
lang
work?
yan hours, it's a lot of data. Na uso sa mga panahon ngayon yung tinatawag na big data, no? And it's actually coming from big data. From big data, you generate naman artificial intelligence or yung AI nga. So, yung mga search na yon, yung mga search suggestions, search keywords, lahat yun are generated by AI, no? And natutunan ng AI yon based on a lot of data na halos kapareho nung sinesearch mo. So,
Wow.
yun yung amount of hours, amount of data rin na involved para magawa yung ganong klaseng functionality.
Wow. So mahirap, Eric.
Mahirap
Maraming
yun. Yun ang hindi nakikita ng mga tao. Ang alam lang nila
okay.
isang text box, search mo doon, tapos na, di ba?
The glory. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Wonderful. Yeah.
Ayan.
Wonderful.
So, ang ating question sa ating mga viewers din, what are your takeaways? No? Type nyo po dyan sa comment section sa Facebook or chat dyan sa YouTube. Ako, ang aking takeaway is, yun nga, success involves yung mga challenges, no? Yung mga setbacks, mga negatrons na kailangan nating iwasan, di ba? Kasama yan sa success. So, iwasan yung mga negatrons, iwasan yung mga tao na dinidischarge ka lang. Always join groups that will encourage you and motivate you and who are successful, no? And learn from people who are already successful. And don't just look at their success, but learn from their story. How did they get to that stage of success, di ba? Kasi eventually, if you do what they do, you'll eventually have what they have, di ba? And ganun din sa mga opinions na tinatanggap natin. If you accept their opinions, you're actually accepting also their lifestyle. So what their lifestyle is, that's most probably kung ano yung magiging lifestyle din natin. So ingat din tayo kung kaninong opinion yung pinapakinggan natin. So kayo po, anong inyong takeaways? Type nyo dyan sa comment section or sa chat sa YouTube. Ayan, sabi ni Buenafe, this metaphor is very real, inspiring, and motivating. Great content. Thanks, sirs.
Most
Ayan.
welcome, Buena Fe. Yeah.
Kayo,
So,
sir, anong inyong summary, takeaway?
yeah, my takeaway, I mean, na ano mo na, really ito yung irony talaga. It's yung yun na nga, 'di ba, yung sinasabi mo, Eric, na the path going there, that there's actually more to learn from their story.
Mm,
Kasi yung glory resulta na yun eh. Pero ano yung kanilang mga trials, 'di ba? On the way to that glory. And how did they, bounce back or remain tough even with all those setbacks, 'di ba? There's more to learn from that, 'di ba?
Correct.
Kasi
And
tendency gusto
mm,
nakikita mo yung glory eh. Hindi. Ang learning doon is anong ginawa mo to overcome that. 'Di ba yung na-attend natin, yung dati nating ina-attend, 'di
yeah,
ba? Sabi, you need to adapt, improvise, overcome. Yun yung
yes.
ano ng military, 'di ba? Hindi mo
Mm,
alam anong gagawin ng kalaban mo. You've been trained, but your enemy can fight you in different ways. And
correct.
that's why you need to adapt. You're expecting him to come from here, then all of a sudden he comes from somewhere else. You adapt and improvise
Mhm.
and then overcome.
Which is very ano rin, no, relevant sa time natin ngayon dito sa pandemic. It's the same reaction na kailangan natin gawin during this
Uh,
pandemic. We have to adapt,
adapt,
we have to
improvise.
improvise, which is ngayon ang word is pivot, di ba? And overcome. Eventually overcome the challenges. Yes.
Yes,
Ayan, sabi ni Buenafe, success is just a fraction of the foundation laid underneath that is unseen. Yes.
correct.
And Sir Gabi, sabi rin, keep your eye on the prize. Never stop learning.
Thank you,
Yes.
Gabby.
And sabi rin ni Buenafe, no great
Wow,
success comes so easy. And as you understand what is beneath the success, it makes one toughen his endurance. Correct.
correct,
Ayan. So next
correct.
week, ang ating topic naman ay, ayan, next episode, is there any good in gossiping? Gossiping,
Oo.
chismis, tama ba Sir Enrico?
Oo, 'di ba? Kasi normally sasabihin, "Teka, kala ko ba excellence, why are you now talking about gossiping?" 'Di
Uh-huh.
ba? Kasi we have just been focusing on the gossiping, the one that wastes time. But is there
Mm.
something where we should be gossiping something that's positive? Absolutely. Gossiping in that
Mm.
sense can be very good because
Nice.
it celebrates people. It makes people want to emulate all the success we're talking about. So is there any good in gossiping? You'll find out next week.
Wow, very interesting. So para hindi nyo ma-miss yung episode na yan next week, make sure that you subscribe sa ating YouTube channel. Click nyo yung red subscribe button dyan sa baba. Libre po yan, walang bayad. Or if you want sa Facebook, you can also join our Facebook group. It's Truly Happy One. Yung link sa Facebook group na yun nasa description na itong video dyan sa baba. Again, mark your calendars na. Alarm nyo na rin, no? Every Saturdays at 5 p.m. to remind you to tune in to Truly Happy One. That's Saturdays at 5 p.m. Okay, so let's end our episode with our usual Panatang Makabayan. So itaas po natin ang ating kanang kamay at bigkasin ang Panatang Makabayan. Iniibig ko ang Pilipinas, aking lupang sinilangan, tahanan ng aking lahi. Kinukupkup ako at tinutulungan upang maging malakas, masipag at marangal. Dahil mahal ko ang Pilipinas, diringgin ko ang payo ng aking mga magulang. Susundin ko ang tuntunin ng lipunan. Tutuparin ko ang tungkulin ng mamamayang makabayan, naglilingkod, nag-aaral at nagdarasal ng buong katapatan. Iaalay ko ang aking buhay, pangarap at pagsisikap sa bansang Pilipinas. Maraming salamat po and we'll see you again
Th-
next Saturday